Puerto Rico is still recovering from the devastating effects of Hurricane Maria. Even though it was over a year and a half ago, the efforts to recover and rebuild are still ongoing. I remember how long it took our home state of Louisiana to recover after Hurricane Katrina. It's a long road, but these amazing Puerto Ricans are working hard to rebuild their homes and their businesses. Marina de Salina, even though it's on the south side of the island, was destroyed. But now the docks are repaired and they are open for business, even while construction is going on. Tourism is one of the best ways to help with the recovery process now. Visit Puerto Rico. You won't be sorry. So normally we stay on the hook, but we decided to come into this marina because of the trade winds that pick up every single day about this time. It's like 8:30 in the morning to 10 o'clock, and the trade winds blow really, really hard. So we decided to be inside the marina so that we don't have to worry about our anchor dragging and other wind-related issues. But today we are going to visit San Juan. It's time for a road trip. Road trip. Everybody get ready. Woo woo. San Juan. In style. Like all bougie.
All bougie.
San Juan is Puerto Rico's capital city, dating back to the 16th century. Its cobblestone streets featured Spanish colonial buildings, colorful decor, interesting bars and pubs, and sweeping ocean views.
It's the best part of San Juan.
That's right. Let's see if you're staggering when you come out of El Bate. What you think, Willow? Sexy. Oh yeah, she's feeling the shots already. Look, I found unicorns.
Why am I behind you?
Did you always say you have a big head when you're in the front?
Big head.
So I'm saying, get up behind me. Things that are nope. Yeah, you see that? Apparently, you can pay someone to let the pigeons land on you and shit on you. Things that are no. Lying on the northwesternmost point of the inlet of Old San Juan is the fort, Castillo San Felipe de Maro. The construction of the walls and citadel began in 1539, but the construction for the fort itself did not begin for another 50 years. By 1650, the town was enclosed on the east, west, and south sides. Landscape protected the city along the Atlantic.
The San Juan Fort, Puerto Rico.
What? So as we're touring around the fort, we decided to walk down toward the back of it. The view was spectacular. The water was amazing. We could watch the big vessels going in and out of the harbor. And there was one small sign that said Scenic Walking Tour. So we thought that would be an interesting thing to do. We'll just walk around the fort and end up at the front. What we didn't realize is the walls of the fort, all 30 feet high of them, surrounded the actual end of the island. So as we began to walk around, we thought surely there was going to be another set of steps to go up. There was not. It was probably a 3-mile walk all the way around it. And you find the cat. And so by the time we able to find the first set of steps so that we could climb up, we realized we were already in the town. So the views of the fort that you see are all that we have for this visit, because by the time we took this long, then we just said, we've seen enough of the fort. It wasn't long before Eddie found his favorite bar. His grandchildren call him Nono, which is Italian for grandfather. When he found Nono's place, he said, it's time to get a beer. Sometimes the wonderful things we see are planned and sought out, and sometimes amazing and special moments just happen. While stopping for an overnight anchorage, our boats were visited by a young manatee. We're not sure why he stopped to visit us, but it was a truly priceless moment.
Trying to nurse? What? I'm not sure. She's not that big. So, you just trying to nurse her sheep? Which isn't great. And what I'm concerned about is that she's going to try and continue to go up to boats and it's not going to end well.
Oh, I know.
But I don't know.
He's so baby.
I don't think Puerto Rico has like any rehab centers or anything like that. I don't even know.
Willow, who studied wildlife conservation biology, called the Department of Manatee Rehabilitation 4 times with no answer or return call. The little guy was not to be seen the next day. Hopefully, the young manatee found his or her mother. Oh, look at him and his little fins. Oh my God. Paitilla was a stopover point for us before rounding the southeast point of Puerto Rico to head toward the island of Calais. Bring cash to Puerto Rico because even though they use US dollars, you will often find marinas, bars, restaurants, and other places that only take cash.
They take credit cards?
That's my first question. What are we doing? Yeah, I'm in the picture or you're in the picture.
Well,
we're both not in the same picture.
I'm trying to get the background.
Oh. Maybe I'll just come down here with you. Hi.
There's the speaker.
Know what's happening. Willow, what is happening here? I don't know. All the time. Buses that sound like trains, cars that sound like buses. Everything's noisy.
go. Tell me what you're doing in advance.
I'm getting ready to go over there and take a photo. I'm going to sit on that toilet and Pam's going to take my picture.
God,
on that
that's
toilet.
gonna be so
I'll
gross.
pretend to talk on the line.
Okay. All right. You need your cell phone? All right. We had a special surprise in store for us in Patillo. Unknown to us until a few hours before, Eddie's mentor sailed into the bay. Ken Trepanier was Eddie's chief when he first went to work at the New Orleans Fire Department.
We're glad you have the balls to be out here. We're having a blast.
When Ken retired to sail around the Caribbean, Eddie was sold on the idea of following in his footsteps. They have not seen each other for 25 years.
We just rolled because it was dead on the air. So the sails were flopping from one side to the other. And then you don't have those sails to kind of steady you. And I mean, really wasn't bad the whole day.
What a cool treat for us.
Down there walking around, and I'm looking at this guy. He's got a cart with coconuts where he sells coconut milk and stuff like that. She's crossing the street, and she's got a bag under her arm. This little guy with a moped comes by and tries to grab her bag. And we hear, Santiago going, "Hey!" He was packing.
Help! Away!
And the guy drives off. My driver,
He was packing.
Santiago.
Yeah.
Now we're on to the island of Culebra. We're making the crossing tonight. We buried the bow over and over again. It's very difficult to see the degree of waves that we have, but it's not what we anticipated at all. It's not fun. It's a rough night tonight. It's 1 o'clock in the morning and taking over the helm.
Parker said the winds were going to die down today, and tomorrow, and Wednesday. And apparently, it's not happening. It's still pretty rough out here. We're beating into the wind, and we turn north, and we're still beating into the wind. I don't know how that can be, but that's what we're going straight into. Got a mainsail out to try to stabilize the boat, but it's not really. Earlier today it was like 10 knots of wind as projected on the weather forecast, and all of a sudden it's been very heavy and variable since about 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
We're supposed to lay down this evening. That's why we waited for this night. I'm thinking in the next 15 minutes we'll be either catching a more ball or dropping the anchor.
Please tell me, is that true?
It says on the chart, it says danger area, danger Will Rogers, unexploded weapons.
Unexploded
Weapons.
weapons. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Unexploded bombs. All the weathermen said it would be a mild crossing. It was not. The camera can't really capture the intense motion of the waves and the rocky seas. We pulled into the western side of Culebra to the area called Carlos Rosario. enjoys a nude beach, but we won't bore you with any details of that. The snorkeling and diving was spectacular. The visibility was so amazing, you could count the small marine life while snorkeling in 40 feet of water. And night diving quickly became an obsession, 3 nights in a row. And the mooring balls allowed us to dive right off of our boat. Nothing gets better than that. Flamenco Beach, which is undeniably gorgeous, is a beach accessible by boat. But rather than move from the mooring balls, we decided to hike over. It's time. I tripped over a rock. It's time for an adventure today. We are going to Flamenco Beach.
Better.
Yeah, okay.
Against it already? Oh, right there?
What?
You said watch out for the landmine.
Landmines. What do I get? Don't want to go boom. Remembering about the island's controversial past, we were particular to stay on the trail. From 1903 to 1975, the U.S. Department of Defense used several of these islands for gunning and bombing practice, and some of the unexploded mines are still there.
I said this area is filled with unexploded weapons all in the water. Part of the thorny path. Look out! Watch out! Right there, right here. Look, those thorns right there.
Thorny path.
Yeah, thorns right here.
This is Thorny Path.
Match your hat.
Also left behind were a number of tanks, which over the years have begun to crumble and rust, so the locals decided to turn them into works of art. What a cool idea!
We didn't die on the way here, so that's a good thing.
Well, that's
Hello, Pelican.
nice way.
We're back! You can't get rid of us! This is the gas station. We have chickens, roosters, peacocks. It's a
farm.
it's a foul situation here. So we're eating dinner. Not kidding you. 7 minutes ago, having a cocktail. Maybe I should pause this. So we're having our cocktail. going because it's gonna be great. So we're having our cocktail, and suddenly we call the number and say, "Do you have any golf carts?" "No, there's none available." And then we say, "Okay, so then how do we get one?" "Well, the transportation can be to you in 2 minutes."
2 minutes.
And that's all you have. If you want one, you have to get it now. So 2 minutes, we are in the traveling van, and we now have a golf
And now
cart.
we have a golf cart.
7 minutes. This is called quick rental.
Minute to win it rental cars.
But gonna see some turtles.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Go kart trip! Woohoo! Ooh, look, I can see myself in the mirror. Ah! Turtle crossing. We're gonna have to walk up that hill right there. How you gonna paddle? Move your foot, Flintstone style. We love you, Eddie. You haven't killed us yet.
So we are on the walking trail to that Playa Brava. We're hoping to find some leatherback turtles. Perfect time of year, perfect beach. And just
At the same time, Jay says, "Do we have enough rum?" He's saying that
priorities, right?
in case this is the last we are seeing from again. This is our
Everybody go 1, 2, 3. Don't pay no mind to that hairy guy behind us.
The leatherback turtles' nesting areas fall all around Puerto Rico. Willow has a big list of credentials, which includes being the director of sea turtle care at Charleston Aquarium, has studied sea turtles for most of her life. Joining her on a research safari was an amazing experience. It meant traveling to the remote beaches over the northern side of Culebra. It was not easy to get to, but so cool to be a part of it.
So leatherbacks are so large, and they have like a 7.5 foot, they're huge. But they're coming up to nest, and they make such a big escarpment and area where their body pit is and where they're nesting that it looks like a tractor literally came on the beach to come up to nest. It's wild. So they've staked this whole area off, not knowing exactly where the nest is. So that makes me think that they come here during the day to mark off these nests. So they're watching the tracks, and then they're marking off wherever that egg chamber may be. They're not verifying it, but they're just taking off that whole area to make sure that it's protected.
Stay tuned for our next episode to see if we actually saw any of the turtle nesting. And don't forget to subscribe to both our YouTube channel and on our website. Thanks for watching. Hope you come back again. You know you want to.